This is an Antifa guy who dumped red paint at the ICE facility in Portland, and he found out. He found out. You can see here on the left this obese young man being arrested. And then what do you think his reaction was once he was actually in the
probably laughing, probably taunting.
Is that what you think?
Oh, yeah.
No, he's shivering in fear and pleading for his life, terrified, because he thought he was playing a game. Look at him, shaking and terrified, begging for forgiveness. You can't really hear the audio in it. He's just in there shaking, terrified. These people that go out, they create the shield for the terrorists to hide in the bushes and shoot like we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
These people are stupid. They think they're playing a game. They show up to these facilities, they dump paint, and he's overweight. This dude, he doesn't look like he wants for anything. He's just bored and has no purpose, and now he found out. I think I'm happy to see ICE going to these extremist groups and having real law enforcement explain to them. And here's what I say. Tell me if you agree. I think you should get a month in jail.
Well, I think I'd want to see what all he did, though.
Sure, I'm saying for dumping paint.
If that's all he did.
Criminal damage to federal property. Take a guilty plea, 1 month, you go to federal lockup, and then all your friends can say, where did Enrique go? And you can say, he went to federal lockup. Why? Because he was attacking federal law enforcement
I'll say
officers.
this, a month minimum. Minimum.
The reason why I think a month is
because he didn't just do it. He did it as a member of this group. And so that's an enhancement.
Yes. There's some pros and the cons in the weight of this. And actually, I think it'd be great if you guys want to chime in a second.
Wait, by the way, I just have to say, though, can we throw up the original picture of him again, guys? Because I want to be clear. Like,
which one?
The original picture of when he had his hands up there.
Oh, yeah.
Because when he had the red paint, because when you see the red paint, it's very clear that they quite literally caught him red-handed.
Oh, indeed they did.
Sorry, that's all I got.
So,
and the music.
if you got like disorderly conduct, what do you get? You get a weekend of community service, if that. You get a slap on the wrist and a fine. We
also don't know if he has priors.
This is indeed.
That does seem like. So what you're seeing in that video, though, is likely what they call shock of capture. So a guy who's been arrested before probably isn't going to react like that.
Yeah. This looks to me like some chubby loser with no purpose who thinks he's playing a game. He splashed paint at the ICE facility. That's criminal damage to federal property. I don't think it's effective to throw him in lockup for a year because that could actually radicalize his friends. They actually rely on this. One of the strategies the far left uses is to intentionally get stupid people arrested, to then radicalize them because they'll tell you, wasn't the punishment excessive? So you got to find that happy medium where his friends will be like, I don't want to go to jail for a month. Screw that. But he gets out in time to where it's not like he was disappeared or anything. During a lot of these protests, what Antifa will do is they'll tell the average person, show up, stand here, wiggle your arms, and chant. They'll then tell they color code it. They'll tell the direct action group, that's what it's called, go in the middle of that crowd and throw a brick at a cop. What happens then is these dumb college kids who have no idea what's going on are standing there derping around. A brick flies in there, hits a cop. The cops say, okay, we're shutting this down. Starts grabbing people and arresting people. Once these people, these college kids who have no idea what's going on, end up in jail, they're panicking, they're shaking, they're terrified. That's how they recruit. Not kidding. They'll then have the direct activists, the direct action crew, be in jail and get arrested too intentionally and say, don't worry, we're here for you. Our lawyers are going to get you out. Isn't it crazy how evil these cops are? You didn't even do anything wrong. Sing with us. Hey, when you get out, call me. Here's my number. Write it on your arm, and we'll make sure you're safe. That's how they radicalize people.
Okay.
So with that being said,
what if we put them away for 10 years?
The guy's friends will get radicalized.
Minimum.
His family will get radicalized, and his friends will get radicalized. So I'm not thinking about this in terms of the emotional satisfaction. If like the Antifa terrorists who know what they're doing and organize, 10 years, agreed. Their friends are already radicals.
So, by the way, have you ever heard the categorization of these various groups that you're talking about within the black bloc? The colors. Have you heard the colors?
Green,
scheme?
red, and yellow?
Yeah, green, red, and yellow.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
I was
been
like
in those
doing it that
meetings,
way.
bro.
So the greens are the ones who just kind of like march around and
they don't know.
They conceal, right? And they have no idea. Then the yellows are your organizers, your leaders, your directors, managers, and the yellows, by the way, travel around, highly organized. We were talking about it the other night on Timcast proper, that they are highly organized and clearly financed. And then the reds are just the crazies.
It's the direct action group.
Of direct action to say, and when I would infiltrate Antifa events, like prior to the attack on the Deplorable in 2017 at Trump's first inauguration, they would move someone around there, and they would say, and we would have like 200 people in a church basement, and they would say, okay, anyone who's interested in direct action, we're going to go over here into another room. But if you're interested in that, come on over here. And those are the Reds. That's the top of the pyramid. There's fewer of them, but those are the ones that are going to commit actual violence.
Yep. And the green group is the doofy college kids who have no idea what's going on.
Right.
They don't want them to know. They want to radicalize them. And so they tell the direct action group, we need to get these people arrested, as many of them as possible. So you might see a flyer at a college and it's like, come march for this social injustice. And what the actual plan is there's going to be 3 guys who wear all black and masks. They're going to tell you to wear the same. They say, wear all black, wear a hoodie in solidarity. They're going to go up to a cop, hit him or throw a water bottle or something to get you arrested intentionally so that you're terrified, because they know that the machine is cruel. That when you get arrested, the cops are like, don't care why you got arrested. Stand here, take your picture. And they're shaking and they're terrified. They've never been arrested before. They probably never had a job before. That's when they can strike. Oh, you poor thing. Look how evil police are. And then come meet us next Saturday and we'll explain everything to you. Then they get a new radical.
You know, I don't know.
Blake,
I'm not sure if it's just bad to radicalize. I would just say if they want to get radicalized because they're like, fafoing, and then they get radicalized and they do something more radical. Okay, 10 years, but 25. I don't care about filling up a prison with 50,000 of these freaks.
But what I'm saying is this guy's roommate gets radicalized and you're making more protesters. That's what they want you to do.
The number of protesters is irrelevant. What matters is if you're doing criminal stuff, if you're attacking cops, if you're destroying buildings, that instead of getting a slap on the wrist, that you are getting, oh, sorry, you're like an insurrectionist, you're a terrorist, you are going to prison for the rest of your youthful life. This is the mentality that's led to the collapse of a bunch of countries, because what the left
El Salvador.
does... Well, so I'm not talking about them running up gangs and arresting them and putting them in prison. These are known gang members who are terrorizing communities.
Isn't Antifa a version
This is
of a gang?
A doofy, chubby kid who has no idea what's going on in the world who threw paint on the ground. And he's got a bunch of friends who are also doofy morons who have no idea what's going on in the world. I'm not talking about letting a guy who smashes a cop car go. I'm talking about the moron chubby guy who's never been arrested before, never had a job, showing up to what he thinks is a playground for LARPing. And then when you guys say, lock him up for a year or longer, Antifa is like, yes, we tricked them into radicalizing more people that are going to fundraise on our behalf, that are going to make money for us and sustain us. You have to be strategic in how you handle their traps. So if a guy shows up with a gun, you arrest him. If a doofy chubby guy shows up, you say, this guy, I said a month. Why? Because he won't be disappeared. He'll get out in a month and say, I'm never doing that again. And his friends will be like, dude, I don't want to go anywhere near that stuff.
Yeah, but couldn't he also just get out in a month and say, I'm going to go do it again now?
Not the doofy retards who don't know anything about politics. He showed up because someone at his school said, do you want to come hang out after school? We're going to go protest ICE. And he went, what's ICE? And they said, the immigration thing. And he went, okay. He showed up.
I mean, he's not just a kid, though. He's over 18. He's in college, presumably, or at least college age. And he knows what a federal facility is. He knows what a police station is, at least.
Indeed.
And he knows that he's attacking
What
it.
is your goal?
What
is your goal? What's your goal?
The goal
What do you want to happen?
The goal is to wipe out Antifa.
Okay, so if
all the
Antifa
networks.
is setting radicalization traps, and this
Well, it's
guy...
not just Antifa. It's all of them. I mean, the radicalization is...
Here's the point.
Much
Criminal
larger.
damage to federal property is, I think, a Class A misdemeanor, which has a maximum of a year in jail.
I love it.
So for a guy who's on a first offense and is a doof, I say a month in jail. So a month in jail, I'm not talking about pleading him down to community service. I'm saying you go to jail for a month. If you give him the maximum penalty right
Federal
away...
prison.
I wonder if
it's a federal facility. I don't know if it goes to
We've talked about three strikes laws in general for habitual criminals. But I wonder if you could do something like actually specifically dedicated for sort of antisocial rioting, or maybe it is first offense, as you say, maybe a month, maybe even 2 weeks. But then it's like your second one, it like radically escalates.
Agreed.
And at your third offense for like specifically disruptive rioting type stuff, even if it's what would normally be misdemeanor stuff, once we're saying, oh, you're just a person who always is going out and like starting stuff with cops and attacking federal facilities. All right, 15 years minimum, have fun.
I say second offense a year. So my point is, when you see the Antifa is hoping to recruit stupid people who don't know what's going on. And so my view is, agreed, we want to wipe out Antifa, but I'll put it this way. One of the things they would talk about in these direct action meetings, this is what the activists would say to you. What would happen if you stood in the street and held up a sign and blocked traffic? What would happen?
Honestly, probably nothing.
No, Code Pink does it all the time. Something happens, you get arrested. Okay. What happens tomorrow after the cops arrest you for blocking traffic? 10 more protesters show up angry that you got arrested. That's our goal.
That's how Occupy Wall Street grew, too.
That's how that was their plan. So during Occupy Wall Street, Anthony Bologna, pepper sprayed 4 women, and he created Occupy Wall Street. This is really important for the history. There were about 1,000 or so, maybe not even that many people.
A couple hundred. I was there on day 1. It was only a couple hundred, not even.
I showed up on day 3 of Occupy. There was like 7 people. No joke. We were standing under a tarp in the rain. An NYPD cop walked up and he smiled and said, "It's like, God bless y'all." And he left. 7 people. I said, "Should we leave? Why am I here?" They told me, just wait till the weekend when people get off work, they're going to come. That weekend, there was a couple hundred people who started to march down the street. The police said, "We're going to stop this march. It's unlawful." And they did what's called kettling and wrapped an orange net around them. 4 young women, and you can watch this video on YouTube, stood, they were outside of the march. They were not part of it. Anthony Bologna, who was I think he was a captain, I'm not sure, walked up to him for no reason and sprayed their faces. That video was uploaded instantly. It was the fastest viral video in the history of YouTube at the time. Over 1 million views in less than a day. That video created something like 30 or 40 Occupy chapters across the country and sparked a movement from 500 to 300,000 in 1 weekend. The direct action people do this on purpose. They said, how can we get the cops to slip up? Another really great example is they have a video where it's a white shirt in New York swinging a baton wildly, and they CGI'd it to be a lightsaber. And then they said the police were beating, like, haha, look, we made a meme. The police beat people for no reason. The full video shows the occupiers attacking the cops, then pulling back real fast. So when the cops respond with the attack, they can get a video of Antifa going like this with their hands up.
Which is exactly what that ICE agent was in recently, where the woman looks like she's getting pushed for no reason.
She attacks him.
Because she had attacked him, and there's like 20 minutes of her just attacking him.
She attacks him.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.